Let's move on to question number 3. This one's interesting. Do you ever see a teenager develop SM at home, but speak at school clearly and in full sentences?
So we've had situations like this before, and in almost every single case, if there's a child that stops speaking at home, either becomes pervasively mute or speaks to, let's say, one or two family members, but is mute with another, there's some sort of family dynamic at play, whether it's misunderstood, whether they witness something, whether they don't feel safe in that environment for a variety of reasons. That is an area to focus on. Now, they said that outside the home, is this child functioning appropriately? If this child doesn't have mutism outside the home and this child is basically a thriving, happy individual, then it's only manifesting in the home. Some of the things I say, have there been any changes in the home environment? We've had cases where parents have gotten divorced, and then the parent has a new partner, and the child doesn't feel comfortable. Not that that person's doing anything wrong, but they're not comfortable. They're not happy about it.
It's like the house is not a home kind of a thing.
Yeah, exactly. They don't feel safe in their own home in from an emotional standpoint. We've had a lot of families over the years where when they've gone through separation and divorce, they'll bring this new partner into that child's life without really understanding that that child may not feel comfortable with that person yet, and they're just like bringing them. Like, we had a case last year where a family came to the center with the person's new partner for treatment, but the child that we were treating barely knew this person or wasn't comfortable with this person. I can go on and on with lots of examples. We've had lots of teens where there's like a real big disconnect, and sometimes it's a matter of understanding. So they feel disconnected. Sometimes the parents are misinterpreting their child. Come on, you can do it. You need to talk. Come on, you can do it. You can get better grades on your test. Meanwhile, the child's struggling in so many ways, and the child doesn't feel understood and doesn't feel that compassion. And so they're almost internally angry at their family members. So let's put it to you this way. Yes, there is a reason though, and that has to be determined. And it might be family therapy, but, and is, if this child is struggling in other areas of their life, does this child have depression? And is this child manifesting similar depressive symptoms in other areas of their life? So I think it's really difficult for me to get a question and answer it because there's so many avenues that it can go down based on the responses to these questions that I would ask back.
Yeah, it makes me think about how life there's one constant and it's always change. And so, for example, for this teenager, maybe at one point, obviously he was probably more comfortable at home than he was at school. But then in a weird plot twist, something must have happened, and now all of a sudden he's actually more comfortable at school because it's relatively consistent. And then his home environment is different, and now he's actually more stressed at home, which is interesting. And that must always happen. Must happen.
Right, and maybe he feels misunderstood. Maybe that there's needs to be family therapy, some sort of family dynamic something that's occurred that doesn't make him feel accepted and comfortable.